And the Japanese are waiting on them. There are two out there scouting out the situation. They'll scramble back to the bunkers back there to get away from the Marines and the GIs. Here comes our air cover.
Yeah, we did.
Napalm. Here we go. They're going to start firing artillery at the landing craft. This LVT-4 right here, the back end of it would open up and the Marines would exit from the rear. As you can see the gates being let down and they'll come around the side. Here they come. Basically the same kind of weapons were used in the Pacific as was used in Europe. They even have a M1 bazooka out there, it looks like. I may be wrong. But I see a BAR, a Browning automatic rifle, which is a 20-shot clip. You fire 450 rounds a minute. Also, you see most of the Marines also carry the M1 carbine, 15-shot magazine. And then, of course, the M1 Garand and the Thompson submachine gun. We have a few more boats getting ready to come in with reinforcements. The battles in the Pacific were a little bit more intense than the ones in Europe, because there was a lot of animosity between the Marines and the Japanese because of the bombing of Pearl Harbor and also the Bataan Death March, because the Japanese didn't treat POWs very well, whereas the Germans in Europe, they more or less a little bit abided by the Geneva Convention, where the Japanese didn't pay too much attention to it. The Japanese thought it was shameful to surrender, and a lot of times if the Japanese did surrender, then their families considered them dead. They didn't. It was unhonorable to surrender. That's why I said earlier that on Tarawa, they were out of a force of 5,000 Japanese Marines, they only captured 17. Okay, what you have out there on the far side, you have a duck. See the Beachmaster calling his boats in. He's got the two flags. He's telling them where to land. Okay. They got the Marines held up on the first berm, so they're going to wait for the 27th Infantry Division, the Army, to come in and reinforce them. Here they come now. Now the Marines and the Army are all bunched up on the beach, and so they're going to stay there for a little while, exchange fire with the Japanese, and then they're going to move forward toward the second berm. Here comes another landing craft, another digging boat. Okay, the Marines are starting to advance on to the second berm. Like I said, the Japanese are a little bit more tenacious, and so it's pretty hard to advance against the Japanese because they would use their machine guns and rake the beach and hold it and get the Americans pinned down. Just like on Tarawa, the Americans were pinned down and they had to try to go over a coconut log wall. Saipan had cliffs and the beach was fairly flat, and so they had the Americans pinned down on the beach for the longest time. So you see the 27th Infantry Division is now moving forward with the Marines. So they're going to exchange fire for a few more minutes. Here comes another landing craft. You can see the Beachmaster down there with his flags. He's telling the other Higgins boat where to come and land and drop his troops. In the meantime, the Marines are holding the beach and trying to advance, along with the 27th Infantry Division. All right, here comes the other landing craft. You'll drop the front gate on that Higgins boat and the troops will come out. Still exchanging fire between the Japanese coastal defenses and the Marines and the Army. Like I said earlier, in the other battles, they've got a tactic what's called leapfrogging. So one squad would cover the other squad, and when they try to get across, there that one Marine took a hit. He's throwing his grenades out there. They got a mortar out there on the beach now. The Army and the Marines, they got one mortar. Probably what it was a 60 millimeter mortar. There were a lot of cruise service weapons during World War II. You had a 60 millimeter mortar, and then you had the 80 millimeter mortar. All cruise service take about 3 to 4 men to operate it. Someone to carry the base, someone to carry the tube, and someone to carry the ammunition. Same went for the M1919 light machine gun. They had a 3-man crew. They had the tripod man, machine gun, and weapons bearer. Also, they had one other guy that would cover as support for that machine gun. Some of the Japanese are falling back. During the war in the Pacific, a lot of times you didn't see the Japanese soldiers because a lot of the times, mainly, they were underground in bunkers. And if you did see them, it was very, very rare. There's a film clip that shows the Marines on Tarawa that shows a BAR man catching a group of Japanese coming across an open field or open space on Tarawa, and he opens up on them with his BAR. And that's the only time, really, in the archival footage you see a whole lot of Japanese out in the open. Like I said, a lot of times the Marines got held up on the beaches. It looks like they've run into a strong point here on the beach. So we're trying to figure out if they're going to go ahead and get across this field where this open area where the barbed wire is at. Okay, they're going to move forward now, if they can. They're going to try to take the Japanese positions on the front part of the beach. The Marines are going to try to battle their way up that hill. You see the Japanese are scurrying, they're retreating back. What they did on a lot of the Pacific Islands, the Japanese would run back into the hills and hide out in caves. The last Japanese soldier to surrender in the Pacific was in 1977. They still thought the war was going on. They didn't believe that Japan had surrendered. So what they're basically doing now, it's a term was called mopping up. So they're going to climb that berm, and they're going to try to force the rest of the Japanese to surrender, which they wouldn't in real life. They wouldn't surrender. They might even they could do a banzai charge and get taken out by the Marines. Looks like the Marines are going to try and take the flag down. And the Japanese are fighting for the flagpole. As you can see up there on the far ridge, the Japanese are hiding. And the Marines are still trying to take them out. Here they come, the banzai charge. So here again, like I said, the Marines are what's called mopping up, or sweep and clear. Here we go. You're going to haul down the flag. So basically what you're going to see now is it's what's called the island. They're making the island secure. In other words, they've taken the island from the Japanese and they're going to haul down the Japanese colors. A lot of the GIs and a lot of the Marines during World War II captured these flags and brought them home. Some of the flags had writing on them. They were called good luck flags. And a lot of the veterans in World War II today have been trying to send these flags back to the families. There she goes. They're taking down the Japanese flag. Like I said, on Iwo Jima, the iconic flag raising, there were two flag raising. One, the first one, they thought that the flag wasn't big enough, so they got a second flag and they raised it. And one of the photographers just happened to turn around and catch the moment where it was called the Rosenthal photo. And so they raised the flag on Iwo Jima with the 6 flag raisers. So this was done on a lot of the Pacific Islands. The Americans would take down, and there goes "Oh Glory." Let's give these guys a round of applause, folks. Like I said earlier, we're not out here glorifying war. We're here to honor the veterans of World War II and what they did for us. There you go. These guys researched their uniforms, researched the weapons. They also researched the battles. And they researched all the vehicles. All these vehicles, a lot of these vehicles you see out here are actual World War II vehicles. A lot of the weapons that are used are actual World War II weapons that have been converted or blank adapted. Except, folks, give him one more hand. Thank you very much. Also, if you want to, up at the airport, there's an encampment up there of World War